Yo, what up? It's Mr. Mumbles, King's Court, East 905. We're in the building. All right, so Mr. Mumbles coming with that king shit. So what we're doing right now is we are going to be talking about politics and bull. You know what it is. Okay, so if you do follow me on Twitter, that's King's Court ENT. Um, you know that I do get into a lot of political things, people on the left, the right, middle, depending on the subject there. So I do sometimes get into some discussions over the whole reparations for Black Americans and that fight onto where it's going and where it should be going and what it is and because I do disagree with the whole holding out from the vote until it gets there. I don't see that benefiting anybody. If enough Black people had listened to that ideal, Trump would be in power, and I do not see that as a good thing for Black Americans, White Americans. I don't see that as a good ideal. So, really, based off of that as much, is why I can't ever support that hold the vote. Um, if it was somebody like Mitt Romney or maybe even Bush, who is less dangerous, less volatile, you could take that risk. But I do not think in 2020, with Trump being the opponent, it can be worth the risk there. Um, so a lot of the talk came um, basically from the priorities that were put out by the Democratic Party um, did not have anything with direct benefit to Black Americans, and respectfully so, many people are bothered by that, especially because Black Americans are so integral in Democrats getting voted in. Without the Black American vote, they would have no way of getting in. So they, of course, are looking for some benefit for that level of loyalty that they do not feel that they are going to be getting. Um, so there are some things that are in there that I feel will benefit Black Americans greatly and maybe even more than is being considered. Um, the canceling of the student debt. People say that it doesn't only help Black Americans, which is true, but student debt does affect Black Americans more than it does affect other races. Like those other races that do have the better financial situation are also more likely or to get out of being able to get out of the student debt, and they do not default on the student loans as much. So I do believe that the canceling of the student debt is something that is great for Black Americans. It has been something in some of the ADOS own writings. It has been one of the tangible that was requested. The only difference in that request is that it's not only going to go for Black Americans, it's going to go for all Americans. And like, if you're getting something that is beneficial to you and the people around you, like, it should not diminish or make you feel bad that other people are also getting that benefit. Like, that's just becoming petty. And the other one, the decarceration there, because Black Americans are more wrongfully and overly incarcerated than others. So again, of course, because we know that Americans can always twist it in a way that it doesn't benefit Black people. But if it's done any justifiable way, this could also definitely be a great benefit for Black people. Um, my thing about it, I do want to be pretty clear on with the whole ideal of the rest of the reparations is I am not saying that um, I do not believe that Black Americans deserve reparations. That's not what I am saying. I am more saying I just, in the climate that we are right now, I just do not believe that that is going to be coming up right away. It's not going to be the I don't believe it's going to be the major um, point. And as a political standpoint, holding that out for the vote is not what I feel would be best for anybody involved. Um, like one of the things that I wanted to compare this fight to would be similar to the homosexual um, fight for gay marriage. One of the things that I thought that they did that was very smart is um, eventually somebody had to have told them that from where they were, the fight for gay, like this keep on gay marriage, it was not going to win straight out. So I remember, at least in Canada, they went and battled for like the what is it, the co-partnership certification, so get things done civilly. Then they fought for like adoption rights, and the and I knew that, 'cause I remember telling, I knew that eventually, as each right got won, that eventually it would get to the point where you got to that slope where gay marriage would eventually have gotten passed. And I I have suggested going for the similar way of thinking of individual intangibles that you could fight for to get onto the vote as time goes by. And it's bad to say, but like, especially in this environment, like, even if you are going for the full set of um, tangible that would be called reparations, I honestly, and it's silly to say, but I honestly feel that there does need to be different um a different title that people do give it other than reparations, because I find that the term reparations is like uh it's almost like a, a word, like a propaganda word that the white people there are going to fear and balk at, the way that they just throw out communist and socialist and this and that to everything that they disagree. And I do feel that the actual term reparations will be a thing that makes people balk on it. I think it's like, I don't know if it's that, like, by, you know, it's almost like the term white privilege and stuff, how they want to fight against that, but there's no actual justification under the proper understanding of what it means. But um, I will say, as I said, I don't right right now. I don't think that that is um, a reasonable um, switch off um, for votes, especially with what the um, especially with what the trade off would be. But listen, I do not want it to seem like I do not believe that reparations are deserved. I do not want to, um, I don't want it to seem like I do not think that there is a difference between Black Americans and other Black people, even though I do believe that the way some of you to down talk non Black Americans and stuff like that is a disservice and stuff. So, but as I said, I don't support the you have to do the reparations or get no vote and thing. I believe that all that does is that does empower the conservatives and that empowers someone like Trump because he can do nothing. He can he can and be proud to do nothing for black people and still get the white man vote. He's still gonna get in. So I do think sometimes you do have to look at all of what they're offering everybody and be like, between all of the people, what is best for me? Um, I do believe um, in the like primaries and stuff when other more progressive presidential candidates are there. That is a time to very much push for um, more stances and stuff. But once it does get to the general election, sometimes, even though people hate it, the that whole lesser of two evils sometimes does matter. Um, so, but there was a lot of debate. What I really would like um, on the comments is like, other than um, like specific check of this $1,000 or whatever going to everybody, what are some other tangibles, like individual tangibles, would people want to see um, offered? How would it be delivered? Like, what would it like? What do you have to prove to be eligible for it? I've been reading on a few different formulas that talking about the full reparations, but what individual tangibles like free college, which I think would be a very good one. Are there any type of like business grants or any type of ideas? What do you think would be good, fair options as to um, stand on that point there? Okay, and the other thing, of course, I had to talk about Trump and his tweets and wondering how it is legal, possible, like confusing to me on what seems to be going on there. So let me see. So so let's. So this guy is literally spending his time and energy into like destroying any faith into your guys' voting institutions there. And the issue of it is that if the with the issue of it is that he's not caring about what's true. And I don't understand it with some like he's not sitting there trying to defend truth or fairness or anything of that nature. He is literally just a sore loser and is going to continue this forever because he's never going to accept losing. So no matter what happened in the court, every court, every court case that he loses is going to be blamed on a corrupt court, every and a biased court. Every vote that he's going to be losing is going to be blamed, like he just on a biased court because he has convinced himself that if he loses, it's rigged. Not if you have evidence of it being rigged. Not if they catch it. If he loses, it's rigged. And if he wins, then it's okay. And if I come into any debate, discussion, competition, anything like that, to if I come into anything like that there and have that mentality, I don't ever have to lose because there's no like all of this information. The reason why all these claims are he's just throwing out things that have never been proven and have never been verified. And and stuff like that. And he will he will pull up anybody um, that agrees with him and literally just like go after anybody that disagrees with him. Trump is a Republican that's now gotten into war with Fox News. Like we all know there's biases on both sides, and we can pretend like one side is right and one side is wrong, but these are really two wings on the same bird and stuff. Like just viewing it differently. When Fox News doesn't support you at the right on the right, like every media can't be like every media can't be wrong because Trump says so. At some point, like people have to look at him and be like, "You're crazy there." And like not wanting to concede and all of that, that's fine. But one, Biden should be getting the security clearances. Um, and two, all of these like tweets that have no backing are literally disgusting because there's a whole bunch of people that are going to believe him. And it's really much of a joke to think, though.
Like, on what we've been able to do, and we've helped many countries with their ventilators and all of the problems they were having. And I'd like to congratulate everyone involved in this effort. It's been an incredible effort.
Luckily,
Operation Warp Speed is unequaled and unrivaled anywhere in the world, and leaders of other countries have called me to congratulate us on what we've been able to do.
Like, I just could never believe anything that he says, because everything is overdone and overpushed as the greatest and the biggest and the best ever. Nothing's just ever done well. It's always, even when it's not, always got to be the biggest, like, but like this win had to be the biggest win and the biggest turnover. And as I said, like, the fact that he will not even think of the possibility of losing is troubling, and it should be for most people.
We can never give up. Never. How would your coworkers' peers describe you? As somebody who never gives up. We can never give up. Never. How would your coworkers' peers describe you? As somebody who never gives up.
We never give up. We can never give up, right? Never.
And that's the important part about this, is we focus on making sure that people are trusting the integrity of the system, because it's not just for this election, it's for the elections to come as well. And he's focused on that. The president's upbeat. He's still looking and exploring his legal options. He is focused on making sure that every legal vote counts. And that's the important part about this, is we focus on making sure that people are trusting the integrity of the system, because it's not just for this election, it's for the elections to come as well. And he's focused on that. The president's upbeat. He's still looking and exploring his legal.
There's not, if you actually don't just accept his word, there's not a lot of legal options. There's not a lot of, like, he can hold it out, but I still think for the safety of the country that you have to deal with it as if you have to open up all the security things and let him into the meetings and at least prepare for the possibility of transition. It's pretty much a ridiculous, like, position that people are in, and he's getting their like, people so afraid of him that they don't want to, even though they need to come out against him. Like, always gotta, when Omarosa finally came free, always has to have, his Black people support me sidekick, which is this idiot here. Like, you know what? I don't want to call her an idiot, because she's highly more educated than I am. She's just using that education to spit foolishness. And, and to spit ignorance. Like basically, Candace Owens' job is, and what she's making her money off is, she goes around telling people all of the things that racist white people want to say to black people, but they know that they can't get away with that politically. So you pull out the black person there and have them go say it, and everything's okay because they're black. So you can't claim racism and stuff like that's why you'll never you've never really seen her come out in anything of defense or positivity towards black people. It's all she can she can point out a lot of she'll be able to point out, oh, this black person is racist and that black person is racist, but she'll never come out in defense of any black people unless it's against other black people from the left and stuff. So it's very political on everything, like run at his success. Yeah, and just still just misinformation there, and just random attacks of like your daily reminder that Joe Pratt is not the president elect. Yeah, so another individual who is will post anything without a fact check, without determining if it's real or if it's true or if it's accurate, as long as it's an attack on the left and basically the status quo gets empowered by it. And like it's like going after ASC for to fund the police, but just like the other people on the right does not understand what the term means and doesn't so she's gonna twist it onto some false thing instead of trying to look into the actual issue and the benefits of it. Because right now, the way the police are funded is not an actual benefit. And it's just like a joke. Like in Canada here, like, yes, we do have our party system, and like we do have the political intrigue and who's a race, who's not there, and all of that stuff. But like, you guys will look at your neighbor who you've known your whole life, and now all of a sudden they're the evil devil, like letting politics really just take over your life, and it's absolutely crazy. Some of the things that you guys will be willing to post on Twitter about the other side and things. Um, I'm a Canadian, so I'm not gonna post a lot on this election. I will say I think Biden did win. I think the vast fraud that's getting reported is a lie. What's horrible about it is that I think it's a known lie set for a purpose, and um, I just think like the whole like Donald Donald as a person, like it's not even have a problem with the right, but Donald as a person is just too like he's too much of a business of he doesn't care about the people. He cares about his power, and that's gonna be put above it all. Um so um if you don't like my opinion, that's fine. Let me know what you think. For the political stuff, I'm more on Twitter with that than I will be blogging about that. It's just certain times I will. You can follow me on Twitter at Kings Court ENT, as you see right here, Kings Court ENT, or you can follow me on Instagram, Mumbles905. Like, subscribe, share the video, put some hateful comments on there if you don't like it. If you do support the movement there, you can always support through PayPal at Kings Court 905. We do appreciate it. We'll give you a shout out and everything. Much love. Peace. We out.